Good morning, Mr. Mays coming at you from room 308. Algebra 1, periods 1, 6, and 7. How are you today? It's Wednesday. It's the 11th of May. The sun is shining. It's nice. It's not snowing today. All right, I got a couple things for you to do today. I want to put up another example of the quadratic, to show you guys another example on how to use the quadratic formula. And then also I want to include a little semester test review. I want to review the process of finding the equation of a line in standard form, or slope-intercept form, given 2 points. All right, so let's do the quadratic first. So here we go. Okay, so I have this beautiful function. It says that f of x is equal to negative 5x minus 2 plus 4x squared, okay? So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to set it equal to 0. You're going to put it in standard form, and then you're going to identify your a, b, and c. Please don't try to identify a, b, and c until after you put it in standard form, all right? So here it is. I have set it equal to 0, and I have it in standard form. So 0 is now equal to 4x squared minus 5x minus 2, all right? Now I'm going to identify my a, my b, and my c. Now, does everybody see where I got the a, b, and c? A is the coefficient in front of the squared term. B is the coefficient in front of the linear term. And C is the number hanging on the end. That's why this is very important. You put it in standard form first. All right, and then here is your awe-inspiring, the one and only, wait for it, yes, the quadratic formula. X is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right? Now, I'm going to ask you to graph a few of these. And if you choose to use the quadratic formula to find the x-axis intercepts, this formula gives you so much. It gives you the axis of symmetry, and it gives you the x-axis intercepts. Between that, you can actually find the y-axis intercept. How about that? All right? And it makes graphing this thing real nice. So if you should choose to use the quadratic formula, it may be helpful in identifying the rest of the pieces, all right? All right, so let's plug some stuff in here and get this ball rolling. All right, so x is now equal to 5 plus or minus the square root of negative 5 squared minus 4 times negative 2, that's the negative 4ac, all over 2 times 4, all over 2a, all right? Now let's clean that up. Clean it up a little more. And I get x is equal to 5 plus or minus the square root of 57 over 8. Okay, now this generates two solutions. The axis symmetry is actually 5/8. And your x-axis intercepts are the square root of 57 to the right and square root of 57 to the left of that axis of symmetry. All right? Now what about the square root of 57? Can I simplify that? Well, let's find out. So this 57 is divisible by 3. 3 goes into that 19 times. Unfortunately, 3 and 19 are both prime. So, no square factors, can't simplify. You're done right there, you're done. Those are your two solutions, okay? So that's using the quadratic formula, all right? Pretty, huh? Okay, now let's do a little semester test review. All right, what I chose to start with is because you have a question on your test where you have to find the equation of a line given 2 points, okay? It's a 3-step process. Given 2 points, find the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. I love slope-intercept form. It's a very powerful tool. Given 2 points, all right? So let's back the bus up a little bit here. What's the first thing you got to do? The first thing you got to do, you got to get slope, m. How do you find m? There's your awe-inspiring slope formula. M is equal to, basically it's a change in y over the change in x. You can count that as m is equal to the second y minus the first y over the second x minus the first x. Right? If you label your data, plugging this in becomes very simple, okay? And when I actually do the problem, I will show you exactly how to label data. Not that you don't already know. Step 2, use point slope. That's point slope, okay? You use that because you have a point and you have a slope. Now, the way you read that equation, y minus your y is equal to the slope you just found times x minus your x, okay? Or you can go directly to slope-intercept form. Y is equal to mx plus b. And I'll show you how to do both of those, all right? So let's actually do a problem. All right, so here's the 2 points that I start with. I start with -4, 5 and -1, 3. Okay? Now notice that I labeled my data already. I labeled that. -4 is my first x value and 5 is my first y value. -1 is my second x value and 3 is my second y value. Now when I plug those into the slope formula, 3 minus 5 over -1. Now remember, minus a minus, that -4 minus a -4 makes it a +4. There's the slope of my line. The slope of my line is -2/3. Okay, what does that mean? That means from any given point on that line, if you go down 2 and over 3, you're going to be on your line again. Okay, now, I'm going to use the point slope form. And I'm going to pick a point. I picked the second point in this case. All right? So I got y minus 3 is equal to -2/3. Why -2/3? Because that's the slope I just found. Times x plus 1. Notice that negative made that a positive. When I said that it's y minus your y is equal to the slope you just found times x minus your x, that's because those are your x and y. Plug them in. All right? Clean that mess up. All right, you clean it all up. Notice common denominator, fractions, adding and subtracting, got to have it. And you get y is equal to -2/3 x plus 7/3. Now, if you don't like that, and you want to go directly into y is equal to mx plus b, I chose the first point for this one just to prove to you you will get the same exact answer. 5 is now equal to -2/3 times -4 plus b. Remember, when I told you, you can go directly to y is equal to mx plus b, solve for b, and then reassemble. That's exactly what we're going to do here, okay? We solved it for b. So 5 is equal to 8/3 plus b. If you subtract 8/3 from both sides, notice I got a common denominator, so b is equal to 7/3. Now reassemble, and you get that again. Y is equal to the slope that you just found times x plus b. Okay? That's a quick review on how to find the equation of a line given 2 points. Okay, a little bit of administrivia. Again, I will say this again, and for all of you parental units that actually take the time to watch these with your students, I'll say it again. Don't let the 0 in the grade book stop you. If there's a 0, please turn it in. I will take anything, anytime you turn it in, no harm, no foul, okay? Please turn it in, all right? I'm getting a little pushback, a little flack from people say, oh, you put a 0 in a grade book, I can't turn it in. I've said it over and over and over. Turn it in. I think your kid's starting to get a little lazy and they say, oh, I see a 0, I don't have to do it anymore. Wrong. Let's get her in. Okay, that's my rant for the day. What do you think? All right, so we got a semester test coming up. I'm going to start putting some little semester test review videos out there for you. Let's finish up chapter 9 through 9.6. You guys are doing a great job. A lot of you are you're pretty caught up. So, and some of you have a little ways to go, but that's okay. We can get this done. All right, that's all I got for today. Maze out.